You know that the average person spends over 80 days of their life just standing in front of a mirror getting ready? That is a wild amount of time. But what if you could take that exact same daily habit and use it to completely level up your English skills? Today, I am showing up with zero makeup, crazy morning hair, and a coffee in hand. We are doing a real, totally unfiltered morning routine together. But before we dive in, here is a quick look at the 10 exact questions and answers we are going to master today to make you sound like a true native speaker. Question 1. What do we call those annoying little hairs that stick out everywhere? Answer: flyaways. Question 2. How do you naturally pronounce the word describing something messy and unkempt? Answer: scraggly, pronounced early. Question 3. What is the difference between contact lens types? Answer: it depends on the expiration date, monthly or daily. Question 4. Do native speakers say put on makeup or do makeup? Answer: both, but they carry slightly different vibes. Question 5. What exactly does a setting powder do? Answer: it locks your makeup in place so it doesn't melt off. Question 6. How do you describe a makeup line that is so thin you can barely see it? Answer: imperceptible. Question 7. How do Americans describe hair that has zero waves or curls? Answer: stick straight. Question 8. What do we call earrings that hang down and move around? Answer: dangly earrings. Question 9. Do you say I wake up or I am waking up for daily habits? Answer: I wake up, using the simple present tense. Question 10. How do native speakers pronounce getting ready so incredibly fast? Answer: by dropping the hard T and using a soft flap T. Welcome to the realest morning routine you will ever see. If you have ever searched for an everyday morning routine for beginners, or looked up a real-life English conversation practice video to help you sound more natural, you are totally in the right place. We are going to chill, chat like best friends, and fix this situation I have going on right now. Let's get right into the breakdown of these 10 questions, so you can start using this vocabulary today. Question 1. What do we call those annoying little hairs that stick out everywhere? Answer: we call them flyaways, and they are the absolute worst when you are trying to look put together. So, when I wake up, my hair is usually a whole messy situation. I slept in these 2 French braids last night to give my hair some texture, but now there are all these tiny broken hairs poking out at the top of my head. Native speakers call these flyaways because it literally looks like the hairs are trying to fly away from your head. It is such a common, everyday word. If you are doing your friend's hair, you might say, "Let me get some hairspray to fix your flyaways." In my daily life, I honestly do not care that much if I have them, but if I am trying to look nice for a photo or a meeting, I definitely want to smooth those flyaways down. It is a super visual word that makes total sense once you think about it. Question 2. How do you naturally pronounce the word describing something messy and unkempt? Answer: the word is scraggly, and it is pronounced escarly. This is one of my favorite descriptive words because it sounds exactly like what it means. My hair right now is looking a little scraggly. It means rough, uneven, and just not neat. You can use this word for so many things in your daily life. If a guy is growing out a beard and he forgets to trim it, you would call it a scraggly beard. If you have a houseplant that is dying and only has 2 sad leaves left on it, that is a scraggly plant. The pronunciation is super easy once you break it down. Skrag rhyming with bag and lee rhyming with tree. Skragly. Try saying it out loud. My hair looks super scraggly this morning. We all have those mornings where we look in the mirror and just think, wow, I am looking a bit scraggly today. Question 3. What is the difference between contact lens types? Answer: it is all about how long you keep them before throwing them in the trash, and we just call them monthlies or dailies. I used to be a hardcore glasses wearer, but lately I am totally obsessed with wearing contacts. It just fits my lifestyle better. Now, when you go to the eye doctor, you basically have 2 choices. You can get monthly contacts, which are the ones I wear. That means I take them out every night, clean them, put them in a little case with contact solution, and reuse that same pair for a whole month. Or you can get daily contacts. My husband uses dailies because he only wears them maybe once a week. You wear them once, and at the end of the day you literally just throw them away. Putting them in can be tricky at first because your natural human instinct is to blink when something gets near your eye, but once you get the hang of it, popping your contacts in takes 5 seconds. Question 4. Do native speakers say put on makeup or do makeup? Answer: honestly, we use both interchangeably, but they have slightly different vibes depending on the context. If you are talking about the entire routine from start to finish, you usually use the word do. For example, I need 20 minutes to do my makeup before we leave the house. It implies the whole process. But if you are talking about one specific item, you use put on. Like, I am going to put on some concealer under my eyes. Speaking of concealer, I rely on it heavily because I am perpetually tired. I dab a little bit under my eyes with a makeup sponge just to brighten up the dark circles. So remember the rule. You do your makeup as a whole routine, but you put on your lipstick, put on your mascara, or put on your concealer. It is a tiny difference, but using it correctly makes you sound incredibly fluent. Question 5. What exactly does a setting powder do? Answer. It is a dry powder that locks your liquid makeup in place so it absolutely does not melt off your face. Think about the word set. When cement sets, it becomes hard and permanent. Setting powder does the same thing for your face, hopefully without making you look like a cement statue. After I put on my liquid concealer, it feels kind of wet and sticky. If I just leave it like that, it is going to crease, smear, or just wipe off if I touch my face. So I take a fluffy brush or a dry sponge and gently tap this white powder over the areas where I applied the liquid. Even though the powder is pure white in the container, it blends out clear. It sets everything perfectly. If you have oily skin, setting powder is literally your best friend because it stops your face from looking super shiny halfway through the day. Question 6. How do you describe a makeup line that is so thin you can barely see it? Answer. We use the word imperceptible, which means impossible to perceive or see. Today, I am going for a very natural look, the classic no makeup look that is super trendy right now. I am going to take my liquid eyeliner and draw a line right across my upper eyelid. But I do not want a thick, dramatic wing. I want it to be so incredibly thin that no one even knows I am wearing it. The goal is for it to be completely imperceptible. Let us break down that pronunciation because it is a big word. Imperceptible. It basically means invisible or undetectable. You can use this for sounds too. If there is a humming noise in the background that is so quiet you have to strain your ears to hear it, you can say the noise is imperceptible. It is a fantastic, high-level vocabulary word to drop into your daily conversations. Question 7. How do Americans describe hair that has zero waves or curls? Answer. We call it stick-straight hair. This is a super common idiom. Think about a branch or a stick falling off a tree. It is usually rigid and totally flat. When someone has hair that completely refuses to hold a curl, we say their hair is stick-straight. My hair is naturally kind of wavy, which is why I like putting it into braids overnight. When I pull these hair ties out and run my fingers through it, it gives me these nice, loose, beachy waves. But back in high school, everyone wanted stick-straight hair. People would spend an hour using a super hot flat iron, just to make sure every single piece of hair was totally flat and straight. Nowadays, people love embracing their natural texture. So whether your hair is curly, wavy, or stick-straight, it is all about just working with what you naturally have. Question 8. What do we call earrings that hang down and move around? Answer. We call them dangly earrings. To dangle means to hang loosely and swing back and forth. So, naturally, earrings that drop down from your earlobes are called dangly earrings. I am putting a pair in right now. Honestly, I wear dangly earrings every single day, even if I am just lounging around the house in sweatpants. It just makes me feel a little more put together and fancy. The opposite of a dangly earring is a stud. A stud earring is just a little stone or a small piece of metal that sits flat directly on your earlobe and does not move at all. I have a second hole pierced in my ear from when I was way younger, but I never use it anymore. I just stick to my one pair of dangly earrings. They are fun, they frame the face nicely, and the word dangly is just really fun to say. Question 9. Do you say I wake up or I am waking up for daily habits? Answer. You should always say I wake up, using the simple present tense. Grammar time. This is a mistake I hear English learners make quite a bit. When we talk about our morning routines, we are talking about facts, habits, and things that repeat every single day. For repeating actions, we do not use the continuous ing form. We use the simple present. You say I wake up at 7. I brush my teeth. I make a cup of coffee. I put in my contacts. If you say, I am waking up, that means it is happening right this exact second, which does not make sense if you are just explaining your schedule to a friend. So, whenever you are talking about your daily life, your habits, or your routines, keep it simple. Just use the base verb. It is much easier to remember, and it is exactly how native speakers talk. Question 10. How do native speakers pronounce getting ready so incredibly fast? Answer. We completely drop the hard T sound and replace it with a soft, fast flap T. If you read the words like a robot, you would say getting read why. But Americans love to blend words together because we speak super fast. When AT is in the middle of a word between two vowel sounds, we turn it into a soft D sound. So getting becomes getting. Try saying it with me. Getting. We do this with so many words. Water becomes waiter. Butter becomes buttier. Better becomes better. So when you are telling your friend that you need time to do your hair and makeup, you do not say I am getting read why. You say I am getting ready. Mastering that tiny little flap T sound is the ultimate secret cheat code to sounding like a natural-born American English speaker. It instantly makes your speech flow perfectly smoothly. And just like that, we are completely done. My hair is out of those scraggly braids, my makeup is set, my dangly earrings are in, and my contacts are actually in my eyes without me poking myself. Thank you so much for hanging out and getting ready with me today. It is totally normal to feel overwhelmed by new vocabulary, but just practicing along with simple daily routines like this is the absolute best way to learn. Now, I want you to go down into the comments and practice. Tell me one thing you do every single morning using the simple present tense we just talked about. If you loved this video and found it super helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and keep coming back to learn English with Jennifer. I have so many more real-life lessons coming your way. I will see you all in the next video. Stay awesome.